The Unknown Christian History of Mount Rushmore. I'm Gary DeMar, and welcome to this edition of Vantage Point. Gutzon Berglund, the genius and drive behind the Mount Rushmore sculpture in the Black Hills of South Dakota, wanted to include an entablature to be placed alongside the heads of the presidents. It was to be inscribed with a brief history of the United States. The thought was that without it, the monument would have about as much meaning to future generations as the heads on Easter Island have for us today. You might as well drop a letter in the postal system without an address or signature, Berglund wrote, as to send that carved mountain into the future without identification. Berglund wanted Calvin Coolidge to write the 500-word history. After the president submitted his draft, Berglund made so many editorial changes that Coolidge withdrew his support for the project. In time, interest in the project waned. But in 1934, a year after Coolidge's death, the project was revived with the entry of William Randolph Hearst and his newspaper chain with an essay contest. 5 million readers of Hearst's newspapers had the opportunity to write their own thoughts on the history of America beginning with 1776 and have them immortalized in stone on Mount Rushmore. President Franklin Roosevelt accepted Berglund's invitation to head a judging committee that included Eleanor Roosevelt, Interior Secretary Harold Ickes, and other notable Americans. The contest was extremely popular. More than 100,000 entries were submitted. The submission by a young Nebraskan named William Andrew Burkitt won the top college age category. Burkitt's entry won him a 4-year scholarship, and eventually he went on to law school. He claimed he owed his good fortune to winning the contest. The carving of the entablature had begun in 1930 when the year 1776 was carved into the eastern side of the mountain. However, due to inconsistencies in the rock, the Thomas Jefferson figure was relocated from Washington's right to Washington's left. As a result of the recomposition, the entablature location had to be used for the Lincoln figure, and the project was abandoned. Eventually, however, Burkitt's essay was inscribed on a bronze tablet and installed at Rushmore in 1975, a plaque that he had donated in 1971. The plaque can be viewed on the Berglund View Terrace at the memorial. The preface to the tablet reads as follows: Almighty God, from this pulpit of stone, the American people render thanksgiving and praise for the new era of civilization brought forth upon this continent. Centuries of tyrannical oppression sent to these shores God-fearing men to seek in freedom the guidance of the benevolent hand in the progress toward wisdom, goodness towards men, and piety towards God. Additional references to God and the Christian faith are found throughout the inscription. It concludes with these words: Now, these eras are welded into a nation possessing unity, liberty, power, integrity, and faith in God, with responsible development of character and devoted to the performance of humanitarian duty. Holding no fear of the economic and political chaotic clouds hovering over the earth, the consecrated Americans dedicate this nation before God to exalt righteousness and to maintain mankind's constituted liberties so long as the earth shall endure. I suspect that today it would be impossible to place such a religiously specific tablet anywhere on government property. Every atheist group in America, followed by the American Civil Liberties Union and Americans United for Separation of Church and State, would voice outrage and mount numerous legal challenges.